Hi there. Welcome to my demo of Syiox. Syiox is a basic application that allows users to be able to share events with friends. This is just a simple application that I started working on just to familiarize myself with Solidity. I've been in the blockchain space for the past year, so I'm still quite a newbie, well, depending on when you get to watch this video. But yeah, been following blockchain. I think the technology is really interesting. I thought, why not get my hands a bit dirty by building a basic application that's relevant to my friends and I, just to pretty much, sort of understand how this works in terms of like code. So I thought I'd start working on this project. I'm still working on this, so there are a few bugs here and there. For example, I know one feature like that's not working, which is basically the refreshing of the page after the events come. But I'm going to start looking at that. Aside from that, a lot of the features are working, but I'm still working on this. Thought might as well take a demo before actually changing it, and then just to show how much progress I've made, and then eventually I'll change it and fix any other issues that come up. In terms of like the authentication, what I am doing is I'm basically identifying users by their public key. I am identifying the user and then storing the account based on the client address that we get from MetaMask. And obviously, this might not necessarily be the best way to do it, but my main focus here is not authentication, it's just to get a basic CRUD functionality working. And without further ado, I'll go ahead and demo this. So, you could see right here, you could already see some of the content that's available, even though the user's not connected. The reason why I did it this way, because I feel like in Web3 applications, a lot of the time they show you the connect button before you could actually see the content. I thought, you know what, all this data is already on a public chain, so might as well show the user at least some basic information, and then eventually when they are authenticated, you could let them know they don't have anything broadcasted to them. So for example, a user can't do anything with this button, and I'll go ahead and demonstrate that. So when the user clicks join, I tell them straight away and be like, hey, you need to connect your wallet. And then the user can go ahead and connect. Next, connect. And then now that's the connected user. So you could see no link ups have been broadcasted to the user yet, but they will see it once those link ups are there. So this again, this is a very simple application. This is a new user, so we don't have any information regarding this user. I mean, this is the first time this public key is being stored on the chain. So with that, we highlight here straight away to the user, go to the profile and add your information so that we can actually know who you are. But like I mentioned, this is not the best way of probably going about it. However, it's not the main focus of this at the moment in time. So I'll go to the profile and then we'll try to create a profile for the user. We'll call the user, for example, uh, Tupac. I don't know why I thought Tupac. I was gonna type Tupac, but I thought Bob Marley, and then might as well call him Tupac. But let's say he's into rap, reggae, and rock. Food taste, curry and chicken, and in terms of sports, let's go with fighting and swimming. Let's go ahead and save this user. So you go right there, confirm, and then that's loading. Even this, the way this is happening right now, should be something that's improved, the loading that you saw there, because I'm constantly right into the dump, and that could definitely be improved without a doubt. So yeah, that's something I could work on and see how I could make it better. Probably using a library because that wasn't necessary. But yeah, like you could see here straight away, this user's profile is now saved. I'll try and refresh the page just in case, because sometimes like I mentioned, I don't know if I mentioned that already, but sometimes the single page application just doesn't work, and I'm going to be constantly refreshing just to ensure, because a lot of this is just done in basic JavaScript, and my main focus was in JavaScript. It's just Solidity. But like you could see here, go to the profile, you could see the user profiles right there. But let's say if the user feels like adding someone, one of these contacts, they can just click save and the user will come right away. But let's say if we want to add one of these users, let's go with Tom for example. Let's add Tom. I'll stick with Theo just to see, and then Tom comes right up. And as you can pretty much tell, this is a not like an advanced search at all. Pretty much I'm just checking this string if this string is containing one of these usernames, and then I'm displaying it. But let's go ahead and add Tom. Save Tom to our contacts, confirm. Now that's loading. Let's see. Uh, Actually, whilst that's happening, oh, that's done. So I'll refresh the page just to ensure that it's actually on the chain again. Oh yeah, I just realized as well, it would be quite nice if the user's actually on the profile once they refresh the page to just makes this the default rather than always going back here. Just noticed that. But you could see, like I mentioned, Tom is not even here yet, but it was good that I refreshed and checked. Let me check again. Oh yeah, now it's definitely on the chain. So yeah, the user added this contact, and the user could always go back and be like, hey, I don't want this contact anymore. I'm going to remove this particular user. So to see this information, I'll go to ether scan. Let me get the user's key, copy, and then we could get to see the actual data being stored. So that's right there, that's the user, and then this is when we created the account, also all that. And then here as well, you could see when they added the other user, see view input data, that's right there. So you could see the user, TubeBub, all the music that is into. I'm storing this as an array of strings, and then when you come here, you could see as well the new user that was added, Tom, I believe. So you could see you have a user ID, which is basically this user, to Bob, and then the contact ID that's been added, which is with the ID of 5. So yeah, pretty much we could see that's going on to the blockchain. I'm using Sepolia, just testnet. Um, Refresh the page. I'll keep refreshing because I have no confidence in the single page bit of the application, but that's something I would work on and improve. So yeah, right here. So let's say if the user goes back and they decide, hey, I want to create a link up and I want to send this link up to Tom, for example, because Tom is the one who's in my contact. They could create a new one, and then we'll say, for example, concert, and it will say, should I go concert? I'll go chilling with Tupac and Bob Marley. Chilling with, okay, I'm not trying to die yet, but but yeah, chilling with Tupac and Bob Marley. I want to put Heaven here, but that's a bit too dark humor. I'll put Kingston. Okay, cool. 29th, and then let's say chilling with them till 4 a.m. And then let's send this to Tom. Broadcast. Oh, gas prices are quite high, but we'll still go ahead and do that. So now that's loading. Let's see how this will turn out. That's loading. Is there anything I could show in the meantime? Whilst that's loading. See, now that's pretty much pending. It's probably in the mempool at this point in time. Still loading. Oh, okay, cool. Says loading. We must have received someone. Now we must have received something. So now that event is right back. Um, Obviously, like I mentioned, the single page is a bit broken, but I would work on that, improve, and find out why things are not perfect. It's because I have different web sockets, and each of them I'm trying to do different things and manipulate different parts of the DOM. So it's not fully solid yet, but we'll take a bit of refactoring, and that should work out well. So yeah, now you can see we've created an event. This user right here, Bob, has created an event here, and you could see it says chilling Kingston, chilling with Tupac and Bob Marley, just like we put a description in, and it says this is Bob as the user who's using this. The people who are part of this, you have Bob and Tom Mac right there. So you could see a user could actually go ahead and create an event, and right now he can't send this event to anyone else because Tom Mac is his only contact and that user's already here. So what we'll do is we'll try to create another user, and then we could see how we would see that that user will now come as part of the contact, and he could send something, he could send the event to that user. So let's say I go and add Mr. J. Let's wait for that. Confirm. Whilst that's loading, I'll go in the blockchain and check. Okay, we have a new pending, and then you could see here the link up being created, or user link up, and all that information should be right there. So yeah, you have it, chilling with Tupac, Bob Marley in Kingston. You have the time, and then you have the creator ID as well as the user IDs. So yeah, go ahead and add that user. That should be done. Let's go to profile. That's it. Missy J is right here. Again, this could have been updated automatically to be part of it, but these are small things that I'm picking up as I'm going along. So we refresh the page, and you could see Missy J is right here. And now you have the option Missy J, and he could broadcast this event to Missy J because Missy J is now part of TubeBob's contact. So you could see also all the users who are part of this, and then you could see who was confirmed and who wasn't confirmed. What I'll do is I'll go into one of these users, and then I'll show you on their profile pretty much whether they have this event before it's even broadcasted to them or not. So let's go to Missy J's account. I'll switch the account. Can't remember which account belongs to Missy J, but I believe it's account six. Connect. So now we're on Missy J. Okay, profile, Missy J. That's it right there. So you could see Missy J hasn't even received that event because it's not been broadcasted to her. We have a concert, Bob Marley's performing. This is not from Tubob, it's actually Missy J's own event. So we'll go back to Tubob's actual account and then we'll broadcast the event to Missy J. And once that event is broadcasted, you will see that right here. Oops, why did I copy that? So let's go to account, the last one, which is the recent one. So that's it right there. So let's say now we decide, hey, let's broadcast this event to Missy J. Okay, cool. I'll refresh this just in case. Missy J selected, broadcast. Don't know why I did that. Funny, but I will look into that issue as well. So let's confirm. We want to broadcast this to Missy J. So what should happen is now when we go onto Missy J's profile, she should have this event right there, and she could decide whether to join it or not. Still taking his sweet time. Let's see, should say pending. That's pending. Mempo. Um, but yeah, this is one disadvantage of blockchain applications. But my main focus on here wasn't even speed or anything like that or gas prices. It's just to get my hands a bit dirty, and then eventually, whilst I'm refactoring, I'll start looking at how to improve the overall interaction with the user, and that should now be there. Okay, still saying loading here. I'll just go ahead and refresh. Okay, yeah, it was already completed. Need to look into that. But you can see straight away now the event includes Missy J as the list of user who has this event. And then now go to Missy J's profile, um, or Missy J's account, sorry, which is account 6, I believe. That's it right there. So now Missy J should have that event right there. So she has chilling Kingston, chilling with Tupac and Bob Marley Tupac, and then she could also broadcast this to her contact. She has John Major as a contact. John Major is not part of this, so she could broadcast this. So the great thing about this is that you could tell who is the first person to share an event with someone. This could be used in music. This could be used in different forms. For example, if I share a song with my list of contacts, it will cost me gas price. But whenever one of my friends receives that and they actually listen to the song, the artist could get rewarded, for example. So there are many ways this account could be taken. But for going into all that, I'll show you a sample. Okay, the loading of this is quite funny as well, so I need to look into that and make sure it's ordered properly. So let's say now Missy J decides, hey, I want to join this event. This event, it says right there, this event has been broadcasted to you from Bob. So we always know straight away this user has this event, this user doesn't have this event, who's the first person to broadcast it to them, which is very important on our blockchain. Well, as part of this application anyway. So let's say decides to join. Okay, cool. We have that. Confirm. And then now let's wait and see. Check whilst it's loading. Actually, that might be a separate account. Need to look into that from a separate point. Oops. I refreshed accidentally before it getting done, but yeah. Let's see. Account 6. I'll go in here, search that up. It should be there 12 seconds ago, so it means we should receive something about that. Yeah, so now it's done. Again, like my refreshing of the page is not the best as a single page application, but that's something I'll definitely look at. But you could see now right here, Missy J is now marked as a user who's going. So even we go to John, not John, sorry, but we go back to Tubob's account, you would see that right there. It's right there. You could see that Missy J is going, so a user could always say who's going, who's not going, this has been sent to, and who it hasn't been sent to. So yeah, this is just a basic application, and this application could be changed in many ways. I have different ideas of things I want to do and how I want to take it. This is all done in HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and Solidity, but I'm going to change it. Probably use Vue.js or React. I already have experience with Vue.js, so I would like to learn a bit of React. I think they're quite similar, so yeah, I might build this in React instead, and that will make it very easy to manipulate different parts of the DOM. And yeah, like I mentioned, this could be taken in multiple directions. For example, you could consider the users' profiles here and suggest events to them based on each of their profile and what sort of things they're into. That's something I actually wanted to build as a feature for my friends and I, but like I said, the application is quite slow, and then you have transaction fee and all these kind of things makes it harder to motivate people to actually use these applications. But overall, I've learned a lot, and I'm going to keep improving it, and I'm going to keep learning. And thank you very much